Okay, so with the full moon in your sign being in your first house, this is all about completing these things that you have worked hard for yourself, because the full moon is, the first house is your identity in this world, your placement in this world, and it can be your physicalness too, so your physicality. So if you've been working on your body, if you've been working on the way that you're looking, if that's been really important to you, you could get completions in this full moon. You can also be more aware of the way that you're looking, the way that you're looking to the world. Like, this is your identity. So I feel like with this full moon, you're going to get some completions that you've been working on. Now, Neptune, with it sextiling the full moon, Neptune is about the other realms, the faded stuff, the divine stuff, right? And so it's like this, the hidden support for you, right? And so I feel like with it being in your 11th house, which is about technologies, it's about your hopes and dreams. It's ruled by Aqua, so it's like the collective and the people around you in the broader perspective, the like humanity, right? And so I feel like with the full moon in your first house and Neptune in your 11th house and them talking to each other, you're sort of trying to figure out, where am I in this world? And or if you know where you are, you're like, well, what am I going to do about this? What am I going to, and Neptune is going to be in there to help you bring something out, bring something forth. Okay. And that's kind of what I'm feeling. And with it opposing the sun, with the moon opposing the sun in your 7th house is about people, your boundaries, relationships, and people mirroring you, right? And so I kind of feel like with this trine, you're sort of really gathering, where am I? What am I willing and allowing people, where are my boundaries? What am I willing and allowing to compromise? What do I not want to compromise? Who am I really? What is my placement here? What did I come to do? Why are these relationships here? What have they taught me? What am I learning? What am I teaching? Sort of, that's kind of what I'm feeling with this trine. And I feel like you'll have that energy again, because the fixed signs get this energy for up to a month. So as you're coming to terms with some things and letting go in this full moon, you're bringing in more things for you. You're bringing in more relationships for you. You're bringing in more situations. So it's your world you're creating. It's time for you to, like, what do I want? Where am I going? What is my mindset? What am I going to do? What, why are these people around me? Why are people not around me? Both ways. It's sort of that I'm feeling that's going to come to fruition for you in this next month that you'll be working on. So good luck. The 7th house and the 1st house are hard houses. I know, because I have a stellium in my 7th house, which means I have 4 planets in there. So, but just know that Neptune is there to protect you, is there to give you the faded stuff. And it's going to help you in your 1st house really identify who you are, right? So, also the 11th house is about, it's like supporting the 10th house, which is our persona, our fame, the way that we come out into the world. So I kind of feel like this is all gearing you up for that specific thing. That's where I feel like your energy is at. So, this is going to be your forecast for November, and what I've done is I've done past, present, and future, and by future I mean late November into December, but it can be open even longer. So the top is sort of your emotional state, the things that are faded that are coming, that kind of thing, and this is sort of your action, the physical, and Spirit's advice. This is your romance card, and this is your financial card. Okay, so, and then I'll do an overall theme here. So it looks like in your recent past you had the 9 of Swords, so you were overwhelmed. There were some decisions you had to make. You weren't really making them. Well, let me say this again. I see where some of you were forced to make some decisions that you had to make, but you were trying to, like, negotiate. in your head how this was going to work out. That's what I'm seeing that happened in your recent past. And so what came out of it, or even Spirit's advice, is the Emperor. So it looks like you were understanding, like, I feel like you guys have like a dynasty. I feel like you have everything. Well, not everything, but I feel like you're more comfortable than you think you are. That's what I feel like. Because this is the Emperor. The Emperor rules dynasties. The Emperor makes something for themselves. And you're a Taurian. You can make that. Like, you know how to do that. You're a physical sign, right? And with the full moon being in Taurus, it's going to bring physical stuff, right? So I feel like you have that, but I feel like you don't think you have that. And I could be talking about several areas of your life, but I feel like you feel, what's the word? I feel like you feel like you're coming from a place of scarcity, and you're not. You have like this, but you're acting like you had this. And so that's what you were working through, because it looks like you're having to give some to the people around you, or you're having to really negotiate, how am I going to do this where I'm not going to feel like I don't have any, right? That's kind of what I'm feeling. So in your present, you have the 6 of coins. So let me say this. If you've been holding back, and I'm talking about in relationships, because this energy can be relationships, it can be money, it can be possessions, but it can be like emotions and relationships. So I feel like with the 6 of coins, in your present to me is now to 2 weeks. I feel like if you've been holding back, if you haven't been giving, if you've been really like hoarding, is I think is the word, like I feel like you're just really closed off and don't want to give for whatever reason. I mean, you know, if it's in a relationship, you may have given too much and now you're not, right? For whatever reason, you may have not done it. So I feel like if you've been holding back, it's now going to be time to give and relax that energy. But I also feel like if you've been giving too much, because some of you have, if you've been giving too much to like everybody where you don't have anything, and I'm not talking about just possessions, I'm talking about like emotions too. Like if you've been giving too much, then it's time to reel it back. It is time to reel it back. But for some of you, I feel like this is possessions, this is finance, this is what this is, right? So you're going to be working on balancing that, which means if I haven't given any, I have to give some, right? But if I've given too much, then I need to hold back and not give, right? Not right now. So, because this present, this physicalness, this advice is the Justice card. So it looks like you'll be dealing with, some of you, not everybody, because this is a general reading. Some of you will be dealing with legality. Some of you will be dealing with paperwork. You know, it could be like I'm buying a house, or I'm not, I'm buying a house, or I'm renting a place or something. So this is legal stuff that you'll be dealing with for some of you. For others of you, this Justice card is about you balancing out. This Justice is about you getting justice, you getting what you deserve, right? So if you've worked hard and somebody's taken advantage of you, then you're going to get what you deserve. And that's what's going to be going on in like the next 2 weeks. You're going to be dealing with that. Okay. Now, in your future, which is the end of November into December, you have the Ace of Wands. So you have new beginnings coming. You have something that you're going to start that's going to make you feel really passionate, but you have to take the action in it, right? So to bring it forth, to bring it into the physical, you're going to have to take action, and it has to come from your heart. Listen, you can't do something because you think it's the right thing to do because society or your family or your friends or your loved ones are going to look at you differently if you don't do it. You have to do it from your heart. You have to do it because you want to do it. Because if you don't, it's not going to go well, right? Because that's what this card is about. New beginnings, but it has to come from your heart. It has to, you have a choice. You always have a choice. But it has to come from, I'm doing this because I really want to do this because I'm passionate about it. because it's not just because it's the right thing to do. Because I feel like a lot of you will do it because it's the right thing to do, but doing it because it's the right thing to do is just about, well, you know, how would I look if I didn't do that? That's not what this is, because it's not going to go well if you do it that way. It has to come from your heart, okay? So their advice is, yeah, see this 5 of coins? This is like a place of scarcity. This is like what's going to be going on is like, I've got this. So I feel like if you haven't given any, you're going to have to start giving some. But if you've given too much, you need to reel that back. So I feel like towards the end of November and into December, the 5 of coins is about you not having much or having too much and needing to let it flow. That's what I'm feeling like. And so you'll be making decisions, you'll be taking action, and you'll be trying to sort of balance all that out. So you guys have a little harder month coming. See, this is the thing. I feel like you're here, but with this justice, you feel, then you all of a sudden at the end of the month, you're feeling like, I don't have anything. Everybody takes from me. You know, all of that stuff that you kind of say to yourself. But I think that it's about, I think, this is what I'm feeling. I'm feeling like you have more than you think you know. And it's about your mindset. It's about you understanding that you are always going to be able to have things come in. You are a master manifester in the physical. Like, you know how to make things happen. So, but if you're coming from a place of scarcity, it's going to stop the flow, right? You got to like open up that heart. You got to change that perspective to understand, I've done this several times. I can do it again. Things can come to me again. I can have what I want. Like, the universe balances out. Does that make sense? I think a lot of you are dealing with, like, you know, long-term relationships that you're trying to come to terms with about this. So, and then some of you are dealing with like the actual financial part of things where you're like, I've worked so hard and I keep working and I don't have. But if you look around, you do have. And you can always get more. You just have to change that perception. Okay? There's no judgment. I'm just trying to help you change that perception so that you understand that you are a powerful, powerful being. And you're a master physical manifestation. Like, you know how to bring things to the physical to you in your world. You know how to live in luxury and beauty, and you know how to work hard. You know how to be stable. You know, there's a lot of people that don't know how to do that, and you know how to do that easily. But it's about your feeling. Like, you could have like a kingdom, and if you're always feeling like I'm not stable, I'm not stable, I'm not stable, you know, well, then what's the point? What's the point? You have to relax and understand that you know how to do this. Like, you know how to bring luxury and stability and relationships to you, right? So, this card is your romance card. So you have the 5 of Cups. So I feel like it's not even just in your finances or the things. It's like in your relationships too. I feel like you're just drained. I feel like you're looking at the bad side of things. I feel like you're occupied with what no longer serves you. I feel like you can't let things go. And I feel like that's what you're doing in the month of November, where your relationships are concerned, right? So what they ask with this card, when this card comes up, is stop focusing on this. Okay, that's the past. It happened. Understand that people come into your lives to teach you some things, to help you experience some things. And if they're no longer in your life, or if you don't want them in your life, then you have choices to make. But look and remember the things that you have accomplished, the people that have come in, the love that you have had, so that you can get back on that vibration, so that you can attract those things, so that you can attract those people, so that you can attract those relationships, right? So whatever this is, I know you're dealing with it in the month of November, and I know it's hard, but anytime I'm asking you to look at the brighter side of things. The first way to do it is to go into the state of appreciation. Whatever you appreciate. If you appreciate your dog, if you appreciate your car, if you appreciate you, you know, whatever it is, begin with that. Start thinking about the things you appreciate and then move on from there, and that will help you move to this lighter side, move to this accepting, move to this understanding. Okay? So, for your finances, yeah, this is your finance card. So you have the Seven of Swords. So the Seven of Swords is about, you know, having worked and having worked and having worked, and then sort of being beat up about it, and then coming back and retreating and saying, okay, what do I need to do next? What do I need to do next? So I feel like in the month of November, where your finances are concerned, you're going to be taking another look at everything, and you're going to be planning. How do I do this? How can I do better? How can this come in more? Like, this could be in your businesses. This could be in your, you know, projects that you have at work. Whatever this is like, I feel like you take a step back, and you'll be doing this throughout the month of November, where you take a step back and you're looking and you're tweaking and you're saying, okay, how can I do this better? How can this bring in more money? How can this, you know, project get bigger? How can we refine this and do it faster, more efficient, you know, with a greater outcome? That's what I feel like you'll be doing in the month of November in your finances, and even for your personal finances. You'll be sort of taking a look at everything. I feel like it has to do with this. I feel like the universe is balancing out, and it's about you changing your perception, and it's about you balancing what really needed to be balanced in your life so that you can move forward. So this is about clearing for you in the month of November. So it's going to be really, really important, especially since that full moon is in Taurus, for you to let go of what no longer serves you, so that you can focus on those things that you really want, and so that your blessings can come in, so that the people can come in, so that the life partners can come in, so that your finances can come in, like those things and people and situations that you're wanting. Okay? Now, this is the overall theme and what you'll be working through in the month of November. You have the Devil card. So this is all about like addiction, lustfulness, having a good time. And there is nothing wrong with that if it's in balance. Like, if you're always working, you need to play, right? You need to have some fun. So I feel like you'll be incorporating this and working through this in the month of November as to, you know, let me find the balance in my life. Have I been working too much? Let me go play. Have I been isolating myself? Let me go engage in humanity. Let me go engage in friends. Let me go engage with family. Like, let me smile. Let me have some fun. I feel like you'll be doing that throughout this, the month of November, sort of like in between all of the stuff that's going on. You'll be trying to like figure out, how do I balance this? How do I keep myself happy? And how do I keep the people around me happy, right? How do I do that?